here we go. We are live from Hamilton, Ontario, and from Charlotte, where Kyle Larson is right now, just arrived at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600. Why is that important? Because an hour ago, he just finished the Indianapolis 500. Just did the Indy 500. Now he's arriving in Charlotte. The most tracked flight right now, Indy to Concord. I didn't know where that was. I had to ask, who? I had to ask the Todder. What's Concord? Why is everyone caring about this flight from Indianapolis to Concord? Apparently that's the thing.
Is he the first person to do this in a while? And in
a while,
because the last person I remember doing it was Tony Stewart, and I'm sure somebody's done it since then.
I'm sure.
Because I remember Tony Stewart flying in on the helicopter in his Home Depot outfit. It's just like an iconic moment. So
yeah. So, anyways, yes, breaking news, people. Breaking news. That's what we do here. Stuff's happening real time. We're tracking it. We are tracking it. How are you doing, sir?
Doing all right.
Ray says Jimmy Johnson did it.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. Jimmy Johnson was top of his game there for a while.
Jimmy Johnson did everything.
Jeff, unfortunately, the soccer season came to an end on Monday night. So, I'm done. So, Riley,
you got more time for coffee
cup, so I figured I would just show off the coffee cup today to match my shirt.
More time for coffee talk.
Maybe
more time for gaming
right now.
More time for gaming. Oh,
there has been a little bit more time for gaming. I will not lie.
You got the graduation.
Defiant this week.
Nice, yeah. Ray and I love X Defiant. Nobody else in his community does.
Really.
Just saying.
I big Call of Duty guy back in the day, especially, and I was always a run and gun kind of guy. I didn't like to camp. I don't like sniper rifles, and so the X Defiant gameplay really fits that like run and gun pace.
I remember you and Carly the Footmilth running some Call of Duty there back when it wasn't on the Stadia, but you were doing some streams. I think you might have been running it with the whole family. I think at one point, weren't all four of you?
At one point, yeah. So
it had all the loans.
I just think that there are so many hit markers. Like I will empty an entire magazine into somebody and they won't die sometimes. And been looking into it, and the biggest thing that's been coming back is ping, right? And unfortunately, now that I'm in a different spot of the house, I'm not hardwired to like the fiber, right? I'm hardwired to a puck, which is not anywhere near the same. So it could be me. It could be my ping. I don't know.
Fun. You speak of ping. I was playing Chivalry 2 with a dude in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was watching his stream. He's like, Jeff, do you play? Come on in. I'm like, all right. So I jumped in. Well, my ping was like red. It was like 200 and something.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, Jeff, they're voting to kick you because of your ping. And then I played another match, and then I was booted out. And I said, I got booted out. He goes, yeah.
Depending on which Xbox I play on in the house, I can have that 200, 300 ping when I'm playing Rocket League sometimes. And that's not the game that you want to be frozen up in. So, yes, this is a new segment called Todd Without a Hat. I honestly, we were rushing to get ready. I can't even believe I remembered to change my shirt, to be honest. So I just forgot to grab a hat. Vampire hairdo. It is clean. It looks a little greasy. I swear it's clean. I don't know. Maybe it's the light shining on it, but anyway. So eventually there'll be some more time.
Big graduation coming up.
Yeah, we got grad party next weekend, and then the graduation is the weekend after that. So, it's still going to be busy for a few weeks, but come August, once she's off to college, it's really going to sink in, and it's going to be like, what do we do? I will tell you this, and I'll say it out loud because I'm trying to find anything I can to help me do it. I really need to finish my drone course so that I can take my test to get my drone pilot's license. I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and I need to get it done. So I'm saying it here so that you can help hold me accountable over the next couple of months. All right. So
nice.
Games this week. We were talking a little bit before the show, but Ships at Sea.
Ships at Sea.
You got to do that one?
I did. It's now in early access. I got to play it beforehand, and then I released the videos after the embargo on Thursday. A fun little game. I had problems. I'll admit, I had problems steering and rowing. I had to use the keyboards, and then when I was watching the replay, when I was editing part 2, I realized if I held down shift, I could have rowed faster. But you'll notice if you watch the videos, I did speed it up. I did speed up 4 times, and I put a little music in. Nice. Crow said it should have been Benny Hill music, but I didn't. Would have faced copyright issues. So I found some other. I found some other music to get me, in the motion to rowing.
That would be great.
But this week, this week, Multiverses is coming out Tuesday, so I'm doing a special.
So wait a second, isn't Multiverse again. Like official now? Isn't it like an official game now?
It's out of early access. It is out of early access. It's now version 1.0. Let's go. So I'll be doing a live stream.
A lot of games have gone version 1 lately.
Yeah.
We talked about V Rising last week or the week before, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're seeing a lot of those games start to go V1.
Finally coming out of early access. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you like the early access bit?
I do.
Do you like the fact that you're pretty much paying the price of the game and you're going to get to see the upgrades and stuff come through based on your feedback and stuff? That excites you as a gamer?
It does. Yes. I like to get in there. I like to play. I like to get in. I actually, and this is controversial. Where he says it's nice. His drone flew to outer space. Ray had drone issues, so don't mention. Don't mention. Yeah. Don't mention. And you, Ray. Oh, Ray was controlling it. That figures. We shouldn't let it drone on.
We shouldn't.
I actually like the demos. Ahead of some of the early access stuff. I know Crow and others don't like playing the demos, but I actually like to dive into a demo. When I played Soul Mask, that was the demo. And I'm like, all right, let me go see what this is like. Because again, you can play it for an hour and get a feel for the game. And is it something that you're going to like, or is it something you're not going to like? So then you're like, all right, I like it. I want to invest the time and the money later. Or I don't like it. I'm going to put it aside, and then I don't have to think about it again, right? So I don't mind. I also, as you guys all know, I do a lot of play tests. I have a whole play test section and demo section in my Steam library. I know Crow has his games he will not play again section, and I have that. And speaking of that, coming up next month is Steam Fest, and I'll be partnering with many of the studios to play some of their demos. We're going to be kicking it off with Republic of Pirates.
What is that? What is that about?
So basically,
Pirates, I guess.
Yeah, basically you're a pirate and you build your own little republic. So it's basically like Sea of Thieves and Manor Lords had a baby. So you're on your ship and you get to an island, then you have to build out the island. So you gotta build out your huts, and you gotta build out your you gotta get your logging, you gotta get your sawmill going, you gotta mine for minerals. Just like in Manor Lords, and then you also have to go out to sea and collect stuff from the shipwrecks. Other ships attack you, so you got to defend your little island. You can grow your island. So that is the first one that is on the list. That is going to be happening. I'm going to probably film an hour and then do a live stream of the second and third hour of the demo.
What? You're not going to make content within your content?
I will. Don't you worry.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, don't you worry. Crow says it is Republic of Pirates, plural. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
This all just happened. This afternoon. The emails came in.
As long as you finish your stream with some Chivalry 2 in honor of Crow, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. There was like a, I don't know, 10-page creator document to go through. There's this whole number of stuff they sent me as part of this.
You like to read too much. I don't like to read that much.
You know, you spend enough years in school reading. So there's going to be, I'm not sure what Ray and the Cyborg City community is doing for Steamfest, but that is what we're doing. So I know Crow doesn't like the demos, but we're doing I'm going to be doing a number of the demos over the course of the week of Steamfest, highlighting some of these games. This one is due out in the summer. It looks pretty cool. From my boy Raptor was playing it, and I got a few other things lined up. But that is the plan.
Nice.
So it's the plan. Nice. So there may not be less. There may be less community streams that week, so yeah, I may just be doing Steamfest all week.
Well, every once in a while you got to change it up, so it only comes around so often.
But we got Red Dead. The second hour of Red Dead is we're going to be doing some bounties and possibly playing poker. There may be special guests joining the stream in addition to the regulars, so stay tuned for that. Wednesday is Abiolic Factor.
Are you practicing for the World Series of Poker, or are you and Dave Portnoy going to sit at the same table with your $250K buy-in?
Oh, is he playing?
He apparently says that he'll put up the $250 if they give him a seat.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Abiotic.
Yeah. Abiotic Factor on Wednesday. And I played a little bit, and we found some mods, so I may play with the mods. We might not.
Oh, cool.
So we're pushing forward. Yeah, it was good. Crow and I played off stream. We picked up a fridge. We got a filing cabinet. We have a nice little house. We have a nice little area now. It's very livable. We got plants. Very livable now. Before it was just a shit show, but now it's kind of livable. And then Friday, I'm doing the final episode of King Kong. I'm going to be skipping forward and taking King Kong to New York. And
who's taking care of the plants at your place? Because we all know that you can't take care of plants.
Bruce.
Bruce. Way to throw it on the other Canadian. Jeez.
Yeah. Bruce.
Oh my God.
Bruce. So, all right. Shall we go? Let's go.
Hey,
Let us go.
Let us go. Born ready over here, Jeff.
Episode 66.
66.
Don't forget.
Make
sure you subscribe on the Spotify.
Do that. Episode 65 up there right now. Appreciate that. We had quite a mix of stories this week. It's not as sports heavy as past weeks have been. But our top story is sports related. We're going to talk the Power 5, NCAA Power 5, and their antitrust cases. Mm-hmm. Jeff has his post of the week. We got a new section called the Chat's Corner Collective, where a story has been shared with us by a member of the chat. So we're going to talk through that. We got some Did You Hear About? Jeff's giving me 5 guesses. I guess we're playing a game show type thing today.
We're mixing it up. We're mixing it up tonight. We're going to be, do you ever watch the old game show Password, where I have to give you a word or two? I think somebody will correct me with the rules. So again, like we talked about in the production meeting, if I give you the word ice or puck, you would then say...
Crow is not happy that we're not talking about AI.
We talk a lot about AI.
Little does he know.
We talk a little. So, anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. Mixing it up again. Just mixing it up. Just trying to keep the chat. Trying to keep them engaged. Right. So we'll have to see. All right. And the first word, very hard.
Yes, very hard.
Anyways, we're also going to talk about Grayson Murray. If you don't know who he is, that is okay. It's very sad, tragic news that happened today. I shared this with a few people this week. The countries with the most religious freedoms, I believe Canada's number 1.
We're not going to talk about it.
All right. We were going to talk Scarlett Johansson OpenAI, but no AI. So, and then we talked a few weeks ago about the Rabbit R1. The little red handheld chat GPT thing. Well, those people came in the crosshairs of CoffeeZilla. Apparently, CoffeeZilla got his YouTube password back, figured out his YouTube password. So he's back making videos. He's out of the void. He's out of the void. He's making videos. So if you like CoffeeZilla stuff, he's got a few of them now. 2, I think, maybe 3 on this whole thing. He's done a very deep dive and had a run in.
Well, I wonder if they'll give him as much backlash as they give to Marquez.
Probably not.
I don't know, but we're not going to talk about it.
So there we go.
What we are talking about is this Power 5 and these antitrust cases, Jeff. And it's definitely a story of the rich getting richer if you want to go that route, right? There's quite a few different I guess angles that were being taken of by this, and NCAA is a big bully. they're a big bully. They do not like to give up their pieces very easily.
Nope.
So especially with the changes that we've seen to the landscape with the now college athletes and players are able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness with the NIL. There's all kinds of things that are going to start stemming from this. There's already coaches that have come out and said that they don't like it because of these reasons, et cetera, et cetera. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing a lot of the same things. Michael Vick posted and well, we'll get to that in a second, but yes, I've heard lots of sort of mixed things. I don't know what if Ray has an opinion on this. Ray, obviously closely follows the college basketball. So there we go. Purple Haze did the big Fall Guys tournament. And it was winner takes. It was winners. If she had done one where the first person out or the last person to complete something, then I would have won easily. But clearly, because I hate that game now. Anyways,
shouldn't make the rules for you, Jeff.
Oh, there you go. So, anyways, yes. Is this going to change NIL? I don't think so, because I think some of the smaller schools and I think some of the kids, they're still going to be able to get their own, agreements with, gyms and whatnots, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right. So, so here's the breakdown. Michael Vick, it does say, oh yeah, past athletes. So Michael Vick was like, hey, past athletes, get your asses over there and start looking for your share of the money. So Michael Vick was tweeting, telling, his people, anyone who listens to him, who still follows the dog killer. So here we go. What are they going to get?
There's the big thing of this for me is the revenue sharing agreement. Because, when you talk about some of those NIL deals, they range based on popularity and who it's for, this and that. You remember we were talking about the high school players and they were only allowed to get, what was it, like $150 or something like that, right? So with the NCAA consistently making more revenue year over end, right? The players are now going to get a piece of that. Is it going to be a sufficient enough piece for what it is? Or is this just the stepping stone to the next argument of, we're not paid enough?
They're never going to stop. They're going to keep butting. They're going to keep butting heads. They're going to keep butting heads. There's going to be I don't think there's going to be a point, at least not in the short term, where everybody is happy and everything is kind of equal. Right?
No, not at all. Not at all. So you have the revenue share, which I think is going to be big topic for us to talk about with this as more and more stories come out. But also, athletes can no longer sue the NCAA for antitrust violations. So essentially, they're signing some rights away here by agreeing to this for what they have to defend themselves. So again, it seems like the NCAA, although they may look like they're giving, they're actually taking a little bit more back.
Is it over? Is someone going to sue? Is it going to go to court?
Everybody gets creative, Jeff. You know how some of the lawyers are. Ambulance chasers when you see them.
I do.
So if there's money to be made, they're going to find it.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Anyways, this is a developing story. So we'll keep an eye on that over the summer and see how what flows out. Ray says the NCAA got them.
Is
with that last point, Ray, athletes can no longer sue.
You're always going to see football, basketball, like the higher revenue generating sports. You know what's getting ready to happen is the College World Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've never really paid attention to the College World Series outside of what I see on Sports Center or what I'm watching. If a team in the area is doing good or something. My son and I went to hit golf balls last night. We were literally at the driving range, and the guy that's the manager was watching the TV, and he was taking the radio, calling out to everybody, Duke just scored, Miami's up to bat. He's like giving them the play-by-play over the radio. I didn't realize how big the College Baseball World Series was, I guess. And these people were like freaking out over it. So
let's go, Duke. Let's go, Duke. Your daughter should have went to Duke.
Will this also kind of spread the wealth out amongst all of the sports?
Hope so.
So
well, we've highlighted before about volleyball selling out some big one of the big arenas, so
yes,
it's not just your footballs and your basketballs. There's a lot of momentum, especially as we Crow loves the women's sports. So
well, Jeff, you grew up in hockey land. You played hockey. You know how big hockey is in the North. Mm-hmm. Hockey has grown immensely in North Carolina, especially since we've lived here, but it has started in 2006 when the Hurricanes came.
Yeah.
Or when they won their Stanley Cup, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
NC State, North Carolina, East Carolina, Penn State, has a lower team that plays these teams. Like there are club hockey teams for the big colleges around here, and it's actually gotten really competitive to the point where they're actually talking about having another division in D1. Could you imagine, one of these schools like Boston, not Boston College, but Boston U, right, who's pretty good at hockey, putting UNC Tar Heels on the schedule, and what are people going to think about that, right? But it's going to help bring revenue. And ultimately that revenue is going to the masses. It's going to players, it's going to schools, to whatever, right? So I guess my point in saying that is, yes, we all think about football. We all think about basketball. I just got like a little culture shock to the baseball thing last night. But then you hear stories about some of these other, sports that are a new division here, a new division there. We still have to see what's going on with Florida State and the ACC, right? Like, there's always growth, there's always opportunity, and there's always change. And so that revenue, I think, is just going to be an important piece, that revenue share.
Yep.
Isaac's man bun is smexed. I got hot tub vibes. Oh my God. Jeff was cleaning the hot tub while we were in the pre-pro. So maybe he got me all bothered there.
That might have been.
And not everybody can clean a hot tub with their feet. All right, let me tell you, it's pretty amazing stuff.
Hope you guys enjoyed the hockey pictures. I shared the hockey picture to a couple of people. Pulled out.
I thought it was a broom.
At the back of the shed. I found my old hockey stick. My son's like, "When was the last time you used that?" I'm like, "Buddy, this is retro. This is my retro wooden hockey stick." Still had the vibe, still had the forms.
You sent it to me, and I saw it on my phone, and I was like in the middle of something. I looked at it real quick, and I was like, "What?"
He thought it was
like, is he cleaning something? Like, what is?
Well, I did. We cleaned out the shed, and I did sweep. But yeah, no, that was a hockey stick.
Yeah, I thought it was a broom. I'm not gonna lie. All righty. Well, there you go. More fun stuff for the NCAA to come. Jeff. Got a post of the week this week. This one is near and dear to your heart, or at least it was near and dear to your heart a long time ago.
It was near and dear to my heart a long time ago. Bad news, ICQ is shutting down. Now, I have to admit, I actually didn't know it was still around. ICQ, you can argue with me that, I think it launched the instant messaging genre back in the day. I love the old ICQ. Yeah, I used MSN and I used the others, but big fan of ICQ. I guess it was bought out by who bought it out? AOL, and then they sold it. And apparently, Crow, it's been big in Russia. A lot of Russians. Where's Jim? Jim would know. But yeah, ICQ, end of an era. And I used to have my laptop, and I used to have like 100-foot phone cable. So I'd have it plugged in, and then whoever I was in the house, I'd cart the computer around with me. So if I was lying in bed, or if I was downstairs, or if I was out on the porch, I'd have my computer. And even if I wasn't, I'd hear the little, uh-oh, and I'm like, oh, I got me a message. Let's go see who wants to talk to the Jeffy. So, yeah, it was...
it's amazing that you make that sound, and it kind of brings back that memory for you. I will forever be haunted by the AOL startup, just that dial tone, and then the ding dong, and then when it came on going, you've got mail. That was the greatest feeling at the time. 13-year-old, 14-year-old me, whatever I was, like, you've got mail. And it was something man in like a chat that I thought I was chatting with like some girl or something, probably.
No,
probably some
really creepy old guy like me in the basement. Oh, by me living in my parents' basement. Yeah, Crow, I didn't know it was still going either. Apparently it was huge in Russia. It's huge in Russia, apparently. Haven't used that in over 20 years. Yeah, it's been, yeah.
Well,
I still remember my number used to be 133, what did I say it was? 133379. And then of course something happened. I got hacked or destroyed or something, and then I had some other stupid number, but still remember. Yeah. I don't know. Good times. Good times.
Dedicated, so
That's right. I've been an internet troll for over 25 years, SPG.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. All right, well, a new little bit that we're doing is we're taking a story from the chat, and this week's story comes to us from Jim, I believe.
Yeah, James Tiberius R.R. Martin sent this to me, and although I fact-checked it a little bit.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
What?
Nothing.
James Tiberius R.R. Martin is his full name.
R.R.
R.R.
How do you spell R.R.?
It's R dot. R dot. R dot. R dot.
Just play it.
R dot.
R dot. R dot.
R dot. R dot. Yeah, and he's not even here for his big story.
Not even here. That's just
No.
So us.
So this guy is donating 100. So it's the 100th anniversary of the KC Marnox winning the first Negro League World Series. Negro League started in the 20s officially, and then the first World Series, I guess, was in
1924.
And here we are. So he's donating money. Good for him.
Yep. Good so $100 for every run the Royals scored for the 100th anniversary, and then an extra $700 was given to the museum there in KC. So pretty cool story, right? Like, you like to see history get brought back into it, especially when there's some charity being done for it. So I think it's a good look. The only way it would have been better if they would have actually worn Monarch jerseys.
Yeah, MLB has rules around all that. So
yeah, they got to get a waiver for that stuff. So that stuff can be planned out well in advance. I'm pretty sure they knew when the 100th anniversary was coming.
They did. Think they did.
Yeah.
So think they did.
Very cool, though. Very, very cool.
So folks, remember, if you have a story that you want us to discuss, just send it on over, and your story could appear in a future episode of Chat's Corner Collective.
There you go.
Thanks to
I'll
Google Gemini.
Slide and make it look a little bit different next week.
Thanks for I sprung that on him.
It's all good. It's all good.
I sprung them on them in the pre-show. Didn't even appear in the production meeting. It was something that happened earlier.
We adapted. It's all good. Sad news here, Jeff. Graceland, the infamous home of Elvis Presley, brought country music to the heartland of Memphis, Tennessee, right? My mom is going to be so sad if Graceland gets sold and it's not going to be a museum anymore, because she loves Elvis. But Graceland set for foreclosure, and Riley Keough, I don't know how to say the last name. She is the heir. I believe it's his daughter's niece, something like that. She's not too happy about it. So Tennessee is kind of putting the clamps down on this thing. I guess they're not making as much money as they need to take care of all the fees and the upkeep and everything else. So they're going to be putting it up for some foreclosure. Could you imagine somebody buying this and taking Graceland away?
No, I think Ray says she's going to win. Failing that, I think somebody with money will probably step up near the end. At the 11.5 hour.
She'll get some backing to help her out, I'm sure. I don't think I don't think that the country music legend, if you want to call him a country music legend of Elvis Presley, is more rock, right? Country roll, rock and roll. I don't even know what you call him. He's got so many different genres when you really sit down and listen to it. I don't think they're going to let that slide. No.
Somebody will step in. The legislature will deem it a historical something. They'll stuff will come in. Ray says they committed fraud. Again, allegedly nothing proven in court. I think the state will step in and give it, make it. Yeah.
It's a huge tourist attraction. You can't deny that. So
it is.
That'd be like them taking your home, and can't do that.
No.
Who else would not get to see the man cave?
Exactly. Ray says the papers were
false.
That's what he says. So there you go.
Well,
there you go.
Should be something that we hear about for a few more weeks. But anytime you see Graceland and foreclosure in the same sentence,
we wonder if you heard about it.
There you go. Here you go. Your GeForce Now creators are raking in the dough here, Jeff. Raking in the dough. NVIDIA, GeForce Now, on top of the world.
Yep.
Best cloud experience you can pay for, Jeff. After you buy your games somewhere else, then you can pay to play them.
It's all because of AI. There you go, Crow. You said there was no AI. There it is, all AI. And the stock is splitting. The stock is splitting, which means price is going to drop, sure, for initially, but it's going to skyrocket back up, and it's just more money. Yay.
We've got some rules here. We try not to talk about politics. We try not to talk about religion. It's concerning to me that several members of the U.S. Congress bought NVIDIA stock before the bump not too long ago. One particular politician has increased her portfolio like 120% solely because of NVIDIA. So it's a little, is it shocking? No. Is it kind of pissed me off? Yes, because
is it illegal?
To be able to use that knowledge, it is totally illegal.
Is it illegal?
They're not going to do anything about it, though.
No.
The one thing that he says in this little clip, which I know you can't hear, is just that their data center portfolio is global now. They've got more data centers globally than they know what to do with, essentially. And they feel like they've actually changed computing for the first time since the old Microsoft DOS days. There's a lot of money being made here by a lot of people. $26 billion, and they beat the projections by, 1.4 billion? Billion with a B, Jeff.
Yep.
It's a lot of graphics cards.
Will says absolutely because of AI. Those are not graphics cards. Gaming is a small market share for them.
Yeah. It's totally AI, and he says it in there. I can't get around the politician thing that I was talking about there. Just being able to invest in this stock, being able to buy the stock, and then almost overnight it doubles, quadruples. Now
it's going to split, go down, and go back up. Shows he's
go back up.
They're going to have 10 times as many shares. NVIDIA is larger than Russia's entire GDP plus $300 billion in cash. Not only that, I can't wait for the exquisite coding that AI is going to do for them in the future.
Well, it's pretty much doing everything else right now. So
CEO needs a raise.
You think?
I don't know. I don't know Jensen's annual salary. You'll have to look that up. But yeah, good times.
It is good times for NVIDIA. So it's not good times, though, for Scotty Scheffler. And we had this on our not to talk about list last week because it was just all over the place. Yeah. But I don't think that we could not talk about this for just a brief minute. I know you've been arrested before several times. They were very gentle with you because they were Canadian Mounties and they like veggie pancakes and stuff. But here in America, we got some real issues in kind of the police world, right? Now, granted, looking at things from both sides of the glass, you don't know what's going on behind these buses there before you saw the car come into the picture. So you don't know exactly what Scotty did. Did he run over something? Did he come close to, people, whatever? But what we did hear is that the cop said that he dragged him with the car. I don't see anywhere in this video where he was dragged by a car, but what I do see is some excessive force right there where he's pushing him up against the car to handcuff him. I know that this police officer is being reprimanded because he did not turn his body cam on, which is a big no-no, but really not a good look for the Louisville Police Department. This is not the first thing that they've been in the news for in the last year. Yeah. So definitely something, man. And Scotty's attorney just basically said, yeah, we're not going to worry about this right now. He's just going to go play his next match. What do you think about our law enforcement stories that you see, Jeff? Are they crazy compared to the ones that you get in Canada, or do you see stuff like this too?
No, we don't see much like this in Canada.
No,
we don't see this in Canada. Not at all. Nope.
So you're saying that you have more respect for people?
We do. And we have less guns.
And less guns. Yeah, I don't think Scotty Scheffler was toting that day, but the only guns he was bringing out was the ones that he was gonna win with.
Ooh, look at you dropping it!
Stop the car. Yeah. And it will never. It will never cease to amaze me how many people it actually takes to stop somebody that's following direction. Get out of the car. Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Okay. Come on, boys. Let's get them. All right. Well,
yeah, I know.
I'm sure everybody's seen this by now somewhere, but just wanted to close the loop on that one.
Canada's quickly catching up to the U.S., but they have a while yet before they get beat up for no reason by their Mounties. True.
There you go.
And we have more religious freedoms apparently in Canada. So there you go.
Well, more religious freedoms, but no Messi, because Messi doesn't want to play soccer in Canada. He said it's too damn cold for him, and he's not going with the team to Vancouver. It's just not going to happen. Could you imagine, Jeff, your boys, younger, really into soccer, world's greatest soccer player, comes to the MLS. They have a chance to see him. You dish out $600 a ticket to take your kids to go see him.
It's sold out.
He doesn't show up.
He's been all over the world, going all over to Hell's Half Acre.
Not Vancouver.
But he won't come to Vancouver, which is where Ray wants to go. But
nope, not Vancouver. So the fans were upset. Released a pretty hateful statement, saying, no, I'm just trying to work in all the things we'll talk about in the comments. I like it. Just wait till we talk about Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, offer Messi some beaver tails. There we go. Ray.
Yeah. He says it snowed here 2 days ago. I can understand.
Yeah, but it's Vancouver. It's probably the warmest city in freaking Canada.
I don't know.
Do we have to put him on that list with Wemby? Because Wemby told me he feels lonely on that list of being the only thing we won't talk
Jeff,
about again.
I was going to talk about Wemby getting his all NBA first team defense, and I was like, you know what? Jeff would cry. So are you telling me that we have to do the same thing with Messi now?
Well, I don't know. Why does he hate Canada? Why is he blaming Canada? I heard that was from a TV show I don't watch.
Maybe he doesn't like syrup.
It's not like Vancouver. What's not to like?
Well, Vancouver is beautiful, Ray. It is. It is a very beautiful city. You know who else is beautiful? Me? Now, before I
Scarlett Johansson
adjust the slide, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? All different kinds of things can be beautiful. Or you could be a Victoria's Secret supermodel and you could come back for your fashion show.
Let's go. They are done with the crap. They're coming back.
I was about to say, what did you send me as your note on this? They're done with the crap? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Let's go. The Angels are back. The Angels are coming back.
4 years. 4 years. It's amazing what COVID shut down, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And things that you haven't really thought about again. Like, before you sent me the story, I wasn't thinking about the Victoria's fashion shows, you know?
So, Let's go.
It's coming back. So there's going to be a lot of people that are happy about that, I'm sure.
Let's go.
Here you go. Remember Mario 64?
I want to see Will do this. Will's got to do this on a retro stream. I want to see Will do this.
There you go. For the first time in 28 years, which is when Mario 64 was released, it has been beaten without using the A button. So it's they were using all of the glitches, all of the things within the map that would allow them to get a boost up into the air, but no jumping, no A button was used, and it only took 86 hours. Only. I have no idea how I could beat Mario 64 without jumping. Part of the whole thing was jumping. Like, I'm thinking, for example, when you were in the castle and you had to go jump through the paintings in the wall, you had to jump through them. How do you not jump through the paintings? There's got to be something there. Right after you make it past Clash Jordan and beat Mike Tyson. I did it at 11.
Will did it at 11. There you go.
Nice.
Well, and we've talked about this on Retro Rewind. You know, we've heard of people like the guy who beat Mike Tyson like blindfolded just by memorizing or knowing or listening to the sound cues or whatnot. So there are people who devote time and energy to learning it all. And if you learn all the little things, eventually you can piece it all together.
It's amazing looking around Twitch at different profiles that you find and seeing that they really some profiles stick to one game, and it's like one game that they've played forever. You know, I'm thinking about like a game like CS:GO, Counter-Strike.
Yep.
People still play that today just as passionately as they did when it first came out. There's a lot of players that play CS:GO, right? Some people devote all of their time and attention to that game. They don't play a PUBG. They don't play a Warzone. They don't Call of Duty X Defiant, right? It's just CS:GO. I would like to tell you that I've always had respect for that. I don't think I have. But I think I have a new respect for it because I'm finding myself doing that with Rocket League. Like every time I get bored, I just end a game and I go to Rocket League. What was that I was playing this week? That Hellblade game?
Oh, did you play that? Nice.
I played it for like 25 minutes and then I shut it off. It just wasn't for me.
Oh, okay.
Even the fighting, it was 2 buttons. It was 2 buttons. All it was a timing thing. Knowing when to block and then knowing when to strike. I mean, that was it.
I heard a lot of heard a lot. It was a lot of puzzles and great.
I couldn't get past 25 minutes of it. What did I do? Right back to Rocket League. I played a couple games of X Defiant. People kicked my ass. Right back to Rocket League. So I don't know. Not Rocket League. Yes, Rocket League. It's all about Rocket League. Ray, you'll like this one because you're getting a Nintendo store in your hometown of San Francisco, California. That's right. Right around the corner from the homeless shelter and the shanty town and all of the syringes all over the ground, you're getting a Nintendo store.
I have no opinions on San Francisco. Those are all, ladies and gentlemen. The show does not condone any comments made. We do not endorse any comments made by Todd. The comments made by Todd are strictly his and do not reflect the show, folks.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. I should have had that quote ready.
You should have just had like the bleep thing ready.
I should have. Yeah.
It will get robbed after grand opening. See, Ray knows what I'm talking about. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's just really different in San Francisco right now. That's all that it is. Yeah. Oh, well.
But hey, they're opening apparently the store in New York. Willie Lowe was there, apparently. He posted something on his TikTok. It's quite a place. So,
I'm surprised that they don't have a Nintendo store at Niagara Falls just because of the go-kart place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, I guess they probably have a store there, but it's not the Nintendo store, right?
No.
You can probably buy souvenirs.
I've never been. Yeah, never been.
You haven't gone to the go-kart then?
I have not. I keep talking about it, just never get there.
All right, Jeff, I will drive to Niagara Falls and we will ride go-karts together because your boys aren't going to go do it with you. So
I don't know. Bickleback and I talked about doing it a few years ago. So we'll have to see. I'll ask him.
All right. Well.
All right. I'll ask him about live stream.
Maybe that'll be a coffee talk.
I can live stream it from there. Yeah.
Nice. Somebody that will not be live streaming, well, at least in the hot dog competitions, is Mr. Kobayashi. Mr. Kobayashi is retiring from competitive eating. He says he wants to repair his brain and his gut. That sounds awful. That sounds awful. Do you have Costco, Jeff?
We do.
You do? Are you a member of Costco?
I am not. I refuse to shop at a store that makes me pay to shop there.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's how I feel about GeForce. So I do have a Costco membership, and every time I go to Costco, the one thing I have to get is a Costco hot dog because you can get a hot dog and a fountain soda for $1.50. And it will never change in price. The Costco owner has said he will not change the price of the hot dog, right? Like if they lose money, they lose money, but the hot dog will stay $1.50. And it's a pretty big hot dog, right? It's a pretty big hot dog, and I can eat 2 of them, and I'm like, whoo, right? Like these guys are literally ingesting 50, 60, 70 hot dogs in a small time span. And I know what 2 hot dogs does to my body. Mm-hmm. I couldn't imagine what this guy goes through from a health standpoint. So seeing this is sad, and it makes me, kind of queasy in a sense. But I'm glad that he could speak up and say enough is enough. All right, I'm not going to beat Joey Chestnut. I want to live a few more years.
Well, the British champion, I forget his name. He goes by Beard. He's got a huge YouTube channel, Beard Eats Food, and that's what he does. He travels all over, and he does all of these. He was in Canada. He's in the States. He just shows up, and yeah.
Well,
he was doing
one. Although there's a place for it, it is very dangerous, right?
He was doing one, I think he was eating chili dogs or something, and there was another guy in the restaurant making comments. He's like, well, I know a thing or two about eating hot dogs.
Why?
Because he goes against Joey Chestnut. He only does 10 or 20 to Joey's 70,
Right. I almost sent you the story about the guy that did that Super Size Me movie, just passed away. 50-something, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed that.
Yeah. He just passed away. And so you think about some of his documentaries were about food and challenging his body and stuff like that too. So, although I'm sure there's a place for it. It's dangerous.
And of course, folks, we bring this topic up on Memorial Day weekend when all of you will be out barbecuing and stuffing your faces tomorrow and celebrating memorial stuff.
Yes. Good stuff. I'm having some sirloins tomorrow.
I saw some steaks being made by Ray had 2 hot dogs today. There you go. I need to get
to I had a hot dog today too.
We need to get to
Edward.
Oh, thank the
Jeff's
Lord.
Favorite ESPN news reporter is done at ESPN after 26 years. This is actually the second time he's been done in the last 5 years.
I thought he was done in 17, and he's back in 19. He's like, oh my God, get rid of him. Oh my God.
He was very Cowboys heavy. He used to have an office at Cowboys headquarters.
He was the
always
ESPN.
Had the inside scoop.
Yeah, he was one of the ESPN reporters in the building, just like they got Jane and they got, they got RJ and other people, right? So he was one of them, but just
I believe Jeff, when I sent this to him, he said, "Thank dog."
I did.
Yeah. You were excited.
Yeah.
Hey, 26 years is a good run, though. So
no, it's by Ed. Ray, it's by Ed. Dove is not a real person. That is just a Twitter
Dove
aggregator
Kleinman.
account. That's just a Twitter aggregator. It's not a real person. I found out it's a Twitter aggregator account. But barbecue and pork loin and the tri-tip tomorrow.
Tri-tip. Hey, here's a try package for you, Jeff. If you have Comcast TV, you can launch Stream Saver, which is a bundle of Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV for $15 a month. And say what you want about them, but Community Notes coming in for the win here says, while this bundle is $15 a month, there are some requirements and restrictions. Netflix and Peacock in this bundle is with ads. You must have an existing Xfinity internet or TV. So you basically have to be a Comcast customer, right? You can't just get the bundle and not have their services. But I want to talk to you for a second here about the with ads in the bundle.
Yeah.
Because bundles are great and they make you feel like you're saving money. But then when you bundle a service that then gives you basically a free shit version and tells you have to pay more to engage with it, that kind of sucks. Recently, the Netflix thing struck us because we got new phones. We got a new package with our cell phone provider, T-Mobile. Okay. So we got Netflix for free. We were like, heck yeah, we're going to save $17 a month. Great. All right. We're always trying to cut back on stuff. So that's going to be awesome. And then we turn on Netflix and halfway through the show, I was watching, there was, 2 ads that pop up. And at the end of the day, it's maybe a minute, 30 seconds a piece or something like that. But it was just kind of BS. And then there was a movie a couple weeks back I talked about, came out and had a big lock on it. And unfortunately, can't watch that unless I want to buy the movie, but I'm paying for the streaming service. I just, how much more do I have to give? You know what I mean? I get it as from the consumer standpoint and all that, right? They're putting out product and they need to be paid for the product and yada. I get that, but man, it's just getting to be a bit too much.
So I got an email from Netflix a couple weeks ago. The plan that we pay now, and I think it's $9 or $10 a month, no longer exists. So we can, not automatically, because if we don't do anything, they'll just cancel our account, which may be fine by me. But we can switch to the $5.99 with ads, which now got me thinking, does that mean there are some movies I might not want to be able to watch if I do that? Interesting.
Right.
Prime already did that. I was watching The Beekeeper the other night. Big O Mac said to me the next day, he goes, "Why did you scream? What was going on?" And I said, because I was watching The Beekeeper on Prime. Halfway through, there was a 30-second ad. Because before I said, I'm just going to switch to the $5 with ads because I don't give a shit. You can watch ads, Big O Mac.
Yeah,
I said, I said I don't watch a lot of Netflix, and I'm sure the Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop is coming out, and there's something else coming out on Netflix, and I'm like, whatever. But now I said to him, now I'm rethinking this whole ad strategy because I got hit with an ad watching the stupid movie. So yeah,
my wife and I started watching this show right before I joined you today. We binge watched 7 episodes of a show. Granted, they're only 22 minutes long, but when you take out the intro and then you add the commercials, it's really only about 20 minutes of show. And so we watched, 7 of them real quick. It's called Tires. I don't know if you saw that on Netflix or not. It's a recently added one, but it's a little show. It's a comedy. It's about, like a tire shop and these guys. A little silly. But literally, it's 20 minutes long, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, we got to hurry up. Like, we can do one more, and then I got to go get with Jeff, right? And so we're just watching this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, skip the intro. Okay, yeah, let's go. You're into it, and then now I got to freaking watch this ad, and it's like, come on, dude. I'm just trying to get, and I'm not going to buy the shit that you're putting on there. I'm especially not going to buy it because you put it on there, right? Like, so they got to make money. I get it.
This is my point, Crow. So this lower tier Netflix where everything is not available. So I got to look into that, because if I buy the lower end, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that means I can't buy that. Now, I don't know if that's also because of his T-Mobile thing. That might be an American thing. I got to look into the Canadian thing to see. But yeah,
the with ads is a lower tier that not everything is available.
So I've got to look into that in Canada to see if there are restrictions.
There's what's the movie Fall Guy that's coming?
Oh, yeah.
That one has the lock on it too, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So I won't be able to watch that unless I either upgrade my plan, which, let's be honest, the upgrade is probably $5 a month, right? But that upgrade is $5 a month, and then the next one is gonna want you to upgrade for $5 a month, and the next one, and the next one, and so if you have 5 or 6 of these different things, and you add $5, to all of them, now you've gone up another 30, 35, maybe $40 a month, just like that, And for people that do have to watch pennies and live paycheck to paycheck, you could get caught. You could get caught just saying yes to all this stuff. I've seen it happen with people. So I watched Diddy Downfall on Tubi.
Yeah, but you could also just move to a different state and just leave all your debts in a different state and not have to worry about it. You could do that.
Yeah. Well, if I was a bad human.
I got Hulu, Sling, Peacock, Paramount, Netflix, Max, and Disney.
Oh yeah, dude.
My God, Ray.
That's a lot. It's a lot. Hey, we've talked about some new stadium upgrades on the show. Just real quick, Cincinnati Open. This is tennis for those of you that don't know. They're getting a $260 million upgrade to the campus, some new stadiums. They're going to redo the stadiums a little bit, new player building, 12,000 new seats at center court, oversized premium seats with cooling technology and built-in mini fridges. So when you go watch tennis in Cincinnati,
why do you need a mini fridge? What?
I don't know, man.
Are you getting like 8 beers? You got to put them in. You got to put them in your like. Are you bringing cold cuts with you? You got to put them.
Maybe. People who watch tennis got money, so there you go. What did I say to you before the show? I didn't even know that this wasn't a thing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in television.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first console war ever is officially over.
It's over.
And how many years did it take?
What was it? 1974?
Well, you got the 70s and 80s. So even if you say the 80s, 40 years later. So we got another, 30 years of the PlayStation, Xbox console wars, 20 years, maybe at least. Let's go.
It's just always funny to me that whenever they talk about the console wars, they never include Nintendo, do they? It's not the same. Okay.
It's not the same.
Well, I mean, depends on what you're talking about. It's got a controller, and I can play a game on a screen. It's the same. In television, you still have it in television?
I don't, but it's on the list.
Is that one of the ones you don't have? Okay,
it is. It's on the list. There will be one, and there'll be one in the collection. When I rebuild the wall and rebuild the section over there this summer, it will be there.
Well, by them acquiring this license, they're going to be still remaking some of those in television games. So pretty cool, I think. Anyway, you like to see things from your childhood still stick around in a sense. So that works.
Or adulthood in my case, but sure, whatever.
Yeah, right. Hasn't really been a same Linus Tech for the past year, has it? Since he kind of stepped away from the limelight a little bit, it hasn't really been.
Well, he's still there. He's the front guy. He's doing all the videos. He's just stepped away from the CEO, the running of it.
He's stepped back from the videos too. I feel like we see him all the time.
Every time I look at it, just dumb videos by him. There may be, Tech Quickie is done by somebody else, and there's a couple other people that do some shows, sure, but.
Well, last August, they had a series of complaints come against them by a former employee. Bullying and harassment was at the top of the list, but they found that it was not substantiated. Allegations of sexual harassment were ignored or not addressed. That was false. It's I'm not in the business of saying if people are lying or right or wrong or whatever, but there does seem to be a little bit of a pattern, more of a pattern these days with some of these topics that were brought up in here related to the workplace. And I've been around a few groups, techie type groups in different, facilities. And when I read through this originally, it kind of didn't surprise me in a sense. It seemed like it maybe could have been true, but a lot of it was found to not be the case, and in some of these instances, very far from the actual truth. So, good for their company to get this kind of worked through and get it into the rearview mirror, but there is still quite a bit of work for them to do. Number one is repairing their reputation, because anytime these things happen, you're going to have some fallout. The one thing I didn't look at before we got into the show today was just like viewership numbers to see if there was any impact during the time and if there was any impact now that this has come out. So I didn't look at that.
They still have their loyal fans. I know they're building out I was going to talk to Doc. We should do a road trip out there. They're building out a whole gaming networking area.
Center.
Yeah, for, land gaming and stuff like that. I don't know the status of that. I saw some videos of them building it out. I don't know the status of it yet, but maybe we got a road trip, Ray. You, me, Doc, head out to Vancouver.
SPG. He'll bring his new back down there and all.
Yeah, maybe. There
you go. It'd be a good thing to get him out the house.
Might be.
Or Ray could meet you in Pittsburgh for the NFL draft next year.
And Callie's a big Pittsburgh Steeler guy, so let's go.
I wanted to say, like, with the draft being in Detroit this past year, we saw how big it was for Detroit, right? They brought in a lot of revenue for the city over the course of those 5-6 days that they had everything set up.
All right.
Would love to see this.
Raise out. Raise out. Raise out. Okay, raise out. Cannot make that kind of commitment. I just can't. It's a level of commitment I'm not willing to make. Yeah. Sorry.
Would love to see this trend continue of the draft getting around city to city and kind of spreading out that revenue. Well,
next year it's in Green Bay. And then the year after that's going to be in Pittsburgh. So it's making the rounds, baby. It's making the rounds.
It is. So that's great. Pittsburgh is a pretty cool city. Steel town, right? A lot of the true and true Pittsburghians are, they're hardened people, very passionate about their football team. It sucks for the longest time that their baseball team has not given them much to cheer about, right? They got Paul Skeens now, which is pretty cool, but it always seems like they're kind of the they're kind of like the AAA team of the majors, because they just get all these great prospects and they just trade them away.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for hockey and if it wasn't for football,
the opposite of Moneyball.
Opposite of Moneyball. That is right, for sure. This one scared me a little bit until we talked about it, and you you had said, some of the things that you had said. Do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about the Kentucky Derby, right?
Yeah.
There was a photo finish. There were 3 horses there. There was a set time that they won second and third. Do you remember that?
I do.
You do?
I do. Remember we discussed it.
Yeah. Do you remember the exact time that the horses were off?
I don't even remember the names of the horses that finished.
Yeah. Well, pretty soon you're going to be able to go back and see where you left off, essentially, because Windows 11 is going to put some AI in the operating system.
More AI news, Crow. More AI news. Let's go.
Recall, and you're going to be able to go back and find out where you were at a certain point in your PC history. So for all of you dirty minded people out there, you better watch out, because Windows is watching. You know what I'm talking about, Raymond.
Crow says, for the record, this is a terrible idea.
It brings up the question of what truly is privacy, right? Because even today, for those of you that know how computer and data and all of that work, you know that everything you put out there is out there, right? I mean, you could find anything that you did at any point in time if somebody knew what in the heck they were doing. But now that it's actually going to be put into kind of like a library history for you, it's a little concerning, because, you know, people use incognito mode, but it's not really incognito mode. It can still be found, right? You're not even gonna have to worry about that anymore. You're just gonna tell your AI, what was I doing on this date? And you remember the old, like, somebody shining the flashlight in your face. Where were you at this date and this time? Well, Recall is gonna be able to tell you. So I don't know how I feel about it.
In Canada, we have a privacy commissioner. We obviously take our privacy much more seriously and have more rules and different rules than you people. So it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out same with the European Union, UK. They all have, a lot of our privacy stuff is adopted from them. So we'll have to see.
My only question about it is it a feature that you have to sign into? Like you have to acknowledge the feature on your Windows 11, or is it going to roll out automatically and you have no say in it?
I believe you have to opt in. I believe, but someone will correct me if I am wrong.
And they'll probably hide it in some way.
Good point. Yeah, we should all start using Linux. Yes. If you know any good Linux podcasts, let me know. That would be great.
It'd be really cool to play games on Linux. In the cloud.
Yeah, well. Can't have everything where we can put it.
You're like, all right, shut up with the Stadia talk. Here you go. This was a cool story. So Angel Reese, who was just drafted this year by the Chicago Sky from LSU, she won a national championship 2 years ago. She did the You Can't See Me and Caitlin's Face. She is now the newest owner of Washington, D.C.'s USL Super League. USL is the United Soccer League. It's a women's soccer league, super league. And she is now an owner. And what I love about this is, it's women ownership in a sports team, which is huge. But it also shows that the athlete today is not necessarily solely focused on the athletics, but there's very much a business side to things as well. I watched Candace Parker's interview with Shaq on Inside the NBA a couple weeks ago, and she was like thanking him for, all of his tutelage about business. I mean, I think we can all agree he's become a pretty big businessman, during his playing days to after his playing days, right? What does he own? Like 400 Papa John's or something like that? Same with
A-Rod.
A-Rod too, yes. You look at what he's doing with the Timberwolves. He's still not even the owner of the Timberwolves. Can you believe that?
No. Yeah.
But it really just puts that shift into the business person that is the athlete. I think the NIL does the one thing the NIL is good for is that it lets all these people know that they are their own business, right?
They're going to lose to this year's champion, the Mavericks, by the way.
Oh, I would love to see the Mavericks win. I love Luka. So good stuff by Angel Reese, becoming an owner of a team in her
on the
rookie season.
for the previous story. Crow says it's Microsoft. When's the last time you tried to remove Edge? I'm sure this will be forced on us somehow. Oh,
you are right about
African
that.
American
I hate that it
own
asks
a
me almost
curling
every
team.
day if I want to change to Edge.
Oh.
I would love to see you own a curling team, Ray, as long as I could be on it. I want to go curling so bad. Do you have like curling places near your house, Jeff?
Uh-huh. Every city
we actually have one in Durham.
Every city has them.
Breaking news: WNBA 2K24 is coming to Stadia Pro.
All right. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Way to go.
My gosh.
So before you back up.
Dang it! I hit the button.
You did.
That's okay.
Let's go. So a number of years ago, I forget the number exactly, we were watching the Olympics and we were watching curling, and Canada is really good in curling. We were right up there. And Big O'Mac, yeah, we are. Big O'Mac and his brother were watching it, and they said, I'd love to try curling sometime. And as a parent, and we always try to give kids, something to try. My buddy, former climbing buddy of mine, is a big curler. And I said, hey, if you ever do a something, and he goes, oh, funny you should ask. We're having a friends and family intro night. Anybody wants to come in and try, you can. So why don't you come out on Thursday? I'm like, all right. So bundle the kids up. We go off Thursday to try curling. So yeah, they got to try. I curled in high school. I was on the curling team in high school. Nice. And we got to take them out, so they got to try curling and found out it's a lot harder pushing that rock than it is on the.
It looks intense.
On
I'm
the
not
TV.
Gonna lie to you.
So
it looks super intense. I mean, the concentration, the focus, the form to get it to go, and then the direction call out, the sweeping, it's intense. Yeah. So. I definitely would not mind
on our big road trip to Vancouver. I'll make it happen.
There you go. All right.
I'll get us a little playtime, a little ice time over at the. So this happened yesterday, and I don't know if any of you were watching the F1 race in Monaco, but allegedly that is a water taxi that shuttles people around. The driver fell off, and the boat just took off and hit the dock, bounced off some smaller boats and some yachts. This guy was describing how one of the other yacht captains, they had a deck guy, because apparently when you have $1 million boats, you have a deck guy that just stands on the dock. He ran over and turned it off and stopped for more damage, but yeah, this happened in Monaco yesterday.
Could you imagine being away for the weekend? You come back to your boat, and the side of it is gone. What the hell happened?
I don't think there were.
And then you look for your deckhand, and he's nowhere to be seen.
Your dock, the dock guy.
The dock guy.
I think it was. I saw. Who? I don't know whose boat it was. I saw. One of the biggest boats was owned by an insurance company or something, but there was a boat docking. It had a Bugatti on it. So whoever owned the boat brought his Bugatti to drive around Monaco in, but he had it parked on the end of his boat. So they would bring, there you can see the damage to the dock. That apparently that water and power thing, they had to replace that. So yeah.
Crazy.
Fun little,
You know what else is fun? Last week we talked about the city of Kyle, Texas, inviting all people named Kyle to be in one spot at the same time. They needed 2,326 Kyles. Jeff, do you know how many Kyles they got?
1,700.
Only 706 Kyles showed up. So I think Kyle is now the lamest name because they couldn't even show up for this very, very cool event. They came up 1,600 Kyles short. So if your name is Kyle, you really let down all Kyles by not showing up to this all Kyle event.
So
Very,
Crow,
very
we were going to discuss it, but it didn't make the cut for this week about 2K securing the FIFA game license. So that came out yesterday or the day before. So yeah, we're not.
We got that new segment where chat's supposed to give us a story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any submissions come from the desk of Crow Resin. Just saying.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that happened yesterday.
He's like, I didn't even know about the section. I didn't either until about 20 minutes before the show.
It's only a rumor. I don't think I've actually seen anything official from 2K. I think it's still a rumor floating around, which is why we're not. When it becomes fact, we'll discuss it.
Well, we'll keep searching the internet.
Plus, I also don't like soccer, so
that's true. He doesn't.
There's that too. So
we'll keep searching the internet, but if the rest of the world is any indication, there's some very horny people across the globe. The top 20 most visited websites worldwide in 2023. That's only showing you 13 there, but 5 of those 13 are porn sites. You have X.com or Twitter. You have X videos. You've got porn.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what number 4 is.
Bang.
I don't know what number 5 is. I don't know what number 11. I didn't know.
Let's be honest. If you really want it to be, Reddit can be a porn site too. Okay.
I thought DuckDuckGo was a browser. I didn't know.
I thought it was like a GoDaddy type thing.
No, I thought it was like an alternate browser thing, so you could use that. It doesn't track your shit like Google or like Chrome and Edge do. That's what I thought DuckDuckGo was. When I saw it on here, I'm like, who the hell's going to DuckDuckGo.com?
What's extremely incredible to me is that 1 and 2 are both alphabet, and look at the difference between 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just amazing.
Who are the 4 billion
Google
people
has
still
a lot
going?
Of data.
Who are the people still going to Yahoo?
I mean, I go to Yahoo for fantasy sports. My guys
finance and sports. Finance and sports. Yeah, they've really niched down to finance and sports. They've gotten rid of all the other crap, but finance and sports is really where they've niched down.
Well, there you go. I'm sure I'm a couple of those clicks in there somewhere. I'm not going to pretend I'm some saint, but 175 million people visited Google.com, Jeff. Great. All right, we got some 5 guest time coming up, right? You're giving it to me this week.
I am.
Be gentle. Be gentle. Okay. Lube it up. Do you want me to do it or like?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's now. That's it. That's all you're getting.
That's all I'm getting. All right.
I'm just playing. It's now time for 5 guesses. This week we're playing a little.
He did it better. He did it better years in shows earlier, like in the 30s. So I'll grab one of those.
I did it better when I was Ryzak.
Yeah, you did it better. It was Ryzak.
Jeez.
So we're mixing it up a little. Where's my image? I lost my document. We're mixing it up again because I like to mix it up. We are playing password. So I have a list of 8 words. And I will then try to get you to say those 8 words, and we'll try to do it in 20 guesses or less.
Ooh,
for example, if I said ice, you earlier when we were rehearsing, you said water. I said puck, you said hockey. Right. Correct.
And hockey was the word you were looking for.
Hockey was the word I was looking
for.
But
you can't say the word you're looking for.
I cannot.
Anything
I could not
that
say
could
hockey.
Include that word. So.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right. Let's do this thing, Jiffy.
Outdoors.
Nature.
Fire.
Wood.
I even said the first one was going to be tricky. I should have done it last. Canoeing.
Camping.
Camp. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. We got this.
Second word.
Okay.
Sail. Not the boat sail, but like for sale.
Yard.
Junk.
Yeah. Flea market.
Car.
Auction.
No, put all all three of them are together.
Oh,
right. Like if you think of
yard, junk, car.
The first one was sail.
Oh, sail, car, junk. Mm-hmm. Sail, car, junk. Is this like a repo or something?
No. House.
Sale, car, junk, house. Is it like a yard sale? Like a garage sale?
Garage is the word.
Oh man. Wow.
Garage is the word. Yes, garage.
All right.
Garage sale, right? It's part of the house.
I'm with you now. Wow. Ooh.
This one will be easy.
Oh, yeah, great.
Jaws.
Shark.
There you go.
Okay.
Teller.
Bank.
Cookie.
Baker.
What was this one?
Bank.
This was teller.
Oh, teller.
And cookie.
Teller and cookie. Teller and cookie. Is this like a McDonald's drive-thru or something?
It's a word.
Oh, teller and cookie.
What word goes with those two?
Teller? Like a bank teller is what I'm thinking.
But does that go with cookie?
Okay, hold on. Teller. Cookie.
There's a word that goes before both of them.
Fortune?
Fortune.
Oh,
something tells me Todd does not understand this game at all. Todd has never seen Password.
You know, I think like there was a game show that I used to, was it the $100,000 pyramid or something like that that they did this same type of thing? Yes. Okay. All right.
Planet.
Universe.
Red.
Mars.
There you go. Crow says next game, please. I mean, Ray says next game, please.
Can't help that I suck. Come
on. DC, District of Columbia.
Capital? Was that it?
That was it.
Okay.
I was going to say Sacramento, and then I was going to Google what the hell the capital of North Carolina was. Since
Raleigh, where I live.
Since I have no freaking idea.
It's not Charlotte. It's Raleigh.
Okay. All right. Tongue. Oh, shit.
Cheek. Great one, Jeff. We lost the $10,000 period.
We lost the $10,000 because I gave it away. I was gonna say lick. I don't know how I was gonna get around the tongue, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last one.
Okay.
Yes, the word was tongue, Crow. Yes, the word was tongue. Because I'm looking at my answers. Okay. Bracket.
Tournament.
What did I say?
Bracket.
Fuck! I quit. Ah.
Oh, it's okay, Jeff. It's okay. I win.
Because I'm looking at the freaking words right there, and it's just like, oh my god.
It's what happens. You got one job. Oh, I love it.
I have so one. I did great for the first 6, and then the wheels.
That's good. That was good.
That's
really nice.
Saves. Saves.
That was great. That was like using AI to get the answers.
You got one job. Pretty sure there was an SNL skit where the person was trying to give
one job.
The funniest SNLs is when they had the guy playing what's his name, Sean Connery, and he would take whatever the category was, but he would say it and make it funny.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Gray called me a knob. Yep.
Oh yeah.
He also said, "Next game, please." I like to try to mix it up a little. They're all not going to work. They're all
you can't always just do like a top 10 list, right?
No, exactly. So I thought, you know what? So I stumbled across this a couple weeks ago, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to throw this on. This would be fun. And you clearly didn't understand the assignment. Neither did I at the end.
Not really. Hey, I got the last 2 right. Doesn't matter if you got them right for me. I still get credit.
But you got capital right off. You had trouble with fortune. You had trouble with fortune.
Yeah, fortune stumped me until you said before both words, and I was like, bank teller, fortune teller, fortune cookie. Okay, got it.
Shark was easy. Good. It's just Jaws.
Yeah, that one was easy. I see things like that on TikTok a lot. Especially with sports, there's a guy that'll go around to like stadiums and ask little kids like, hey, can you name the 7 players that have averaged over 30 points in the playoffs, at all time? Yeah. And whether they set them up for the answers or whether they don't, because I think some of the stuff you got to question. Yeah. I haven't been able to get them right off the bat most times. There's usually 1 or 2 players that I'm just like, really? Right? So I think it's pretty cool.
Yep. I just thought I would mix it up a little, and clearly that was a fail.
I don't think it was a fail. I laughed. That's a success. Yep. That's how I'm going to look at it. That's how I view my life. If I laugh, it's successful.
Oh, Crow sent me a link. Did you send me something from Saturday Night Live? I can't watch this. SNL's not available in Canada. Well, it is, but it's not. So any SNL clip, NBC blocks all their shit from Canada. So it's
one of the stories that we didn't get to put on here. You kind of sent to me late today, and I missed it, to be quite honest with you. Was about Valve and Steam and the games library that you own. To where if you are deceased, your games don't necessarily get to go to another account, right? So you can't pass your games down to your children.
Your library, according to the terms of service that you all read multiple times and agreed to, your library is non-transferable. Correct. And
what do you think about the rumor of Microsoft wanting to buy Steam?
And okay, I'll just give you my password. No, you can't do that either. That also in violation of the terms of service.
Violation.
Yeah. So, Ray, that whole huge library you have. But now with the family sharing, does it really matter? With the family sharing now, there's games Crow's played. He's like, I wanted to play that. Oh, my son owns it. I think his son owns every game, it appears. So now he just goes and plays it. 16 billion for 16 billion?
16 billion is what I heard.
That's what I heard. Is he going to sell?
I don't think so. And let me ask you this. If he does, doesn't that just reopen the box that we just closed?
Yes.
Yeah. Right? Like,
antitrust
we just went through this with Blizzard. Now you're going to go through it with Steam?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He might get, he may be at a point where he's just done, tired and done and just wants to, the guy that
got a UI update. Do you know?
I don't know. Every time I launch it, it says updating. Every time what is it updating? I never see a patch notes. Every time I boot it up, it says, updating. The hell are you updating?
I would love a UI update for Steam. I would.
That costs money. The guy that did Minecraft,
16 billion soon.
The Mojang guy. He ended up he sold, he was done. He's like, I'm done, I'll take it. He ended up buying some big huge house, and so
Flappy Bird guy made a ton of money in like that first week, and then was getting death threats. He was like, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm shutting it down. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting. You keep hearing these stories and these rumors pop up, and the game industry that you thought you knew is becoming a very, very small shadow.
There are a lot of people, especially ones in this chat, who are disillusioned by the gaming industry at this moment.
I told you, I've been saying it for weeks now. I'm so bored with gaming at the moment. Like, maybe it's my age. I really think that the Stadia closure did a number on me. I know that that's silly, but I really think that it did. I think that COVID, happening and a lot of the games being delayed, a lot of the resources being put on hold, a lot of the crews not being able to work the way that they were accustomed to working. I mean, you can tell me until you're blue in the face that, they could still work at home, and that yourself that people aren't as productive if they can find a way not to be productive. So there is something to be said for that in-office atmosphere when you're collaborating with people and you're being creative. But I'm bored with it right now. I feel like everything is rinse, dry, and repeat, and we keep taking the same genres, or we keep taking the same styles. And then I say that, and Hellblade, just came out. It's a completely different game from anything I played, and I hated it. I don't want to say hated. That's a strong word. I couldn't get through it. I would guess I was expecting something different. That's my fault. But
Ray beat it in about 6 hours. Ray, I think Ray said it took about six hours. I think Ray said, and I think he's going to do a second playthrough, either as another character or as a different.
We unlock some things, I think, after you get through the playthrough. So there's different ways you can.
Yeah, I haven't really been following it, but I think that's what Ray said. There was different things, and you're not
awesome. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say you're not wrong. That's why I play all sorts of different games. We've got our couple of community games, and then we've been playing this Abiotic Factor, which is just a horror type thing, but it's a slightly different. And I'm going to be playing Republics of Pirates. It's it's another building game like Manor Lords, but it's got pirates in it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff they talk about why pirates and this and that in the notes they sent me that I'm the talking points that I need to script up. So
I'm hoping there will be some change here within the next year, because I think a lot of those projects that either got delayed or put on hold and things like that, I think we'll start to see a few more of those pop up here and there. I still love gaming. Like, don't get me wrong. I still play games all the time on my phone or my computer, my Xbox, whatever.
Just Rocket League.
I just keep going back to it because I haven't found anything that's really like satisfied that need that I have. I can't even explain what that need is to you. It really, and I've talked about this game before, so please don't get upset with me, but it really puts a perspective on how good of a game World of Warcraft is. You know, it's still going. They're still putting stuff out for it. People are still paying $15 a month to play it, you know, millions of people. So, you know, I was thinking about Sons of the Forest. Like, we were real hyped on Sons of the Forest. Awesome game, cool physics. But after a while, we had explored everywhere on the island, and there really wasn't much else to do other than the same stuff that we were doing. We stopped playing it. The new patch came out with the new update and stuff. I think some of us went back and tried it, and we had already beaten the game. It was like, all right, what are we going to do now? Just have some new cool.
Well, and they changed the rules around. Like, every time you started back up, you could go back and you could get stuff again. They took that away. It's now once a week, I think Crow said. So to your point earlier, you asked me if I like the early access. Maybe that's bad. You know, we played, Crow, Paul, Bruce, we all played a crap ton of that in Shrouded, and we've now done everything there is to do. They then came out with an update, more to do. We did that as much as we could till we got sick of it. Now we're just sitting here waiting, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for another inch. You know, if they drop, let's say June 1st, they say, okay, here's the next, we'll dive back in and we'll do, some more playthroughs of it again. We've been doing this abiotic factor because, again, it's a little different. It's a little new. Will's jumped in, and Bruce and Paul when they can, and Willie Lowe even joined us for an episode, to dive in and play. Again, it's a crafting, survival, type thing.
Look at X-Defiant. X-Defiant just came out this past week, officially, right? But there's been play tests out for that for over a year.
I did the one a few weeks ago.
The first one. I did the very first one when it first came out, and it was it was just one map. You could only do one thing, right? And I like Mark Rubin a lot, who's the creative mind behind the game. He is one of the old Call of Duty developers. Call of Duty 4 is my favorite Call of Duty. He was hands-on. That was his last one he did. So I had high expectations for this game because I felt like it was going to play a lot like that. There's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of things that, you got to kind of adjust to, but he's been if you follow him on X, he's been very forthright about, hey, this is not perfect. I need you to tell me what's wrong so we can make it better. I appreciate that. But a lot of these early access games go early access for like 1 to 2 years. By the time 2 years is up, I would venture to say that unless that game really grabs you, people aren't playing a game after 2 years, majority.
Or they never did the early access. I know there's a lot of people that don't like early access and won't play them and will wait for the full copy. We don't want to play a broken version. We don't want to play an incomplete version, which is fine, completely fine.
Depends on where you're at, right? Do you like to help, or do you want to wait?
Yep. I like the demos. I like playing demos. I like playing the play tests. I have a whole, like I said, I have a play test section. Mini Royale, love that game. I just want to see it, do better. Crow, Doc and I did an early alpha of the finals and helped get it to her. Now there's people that love the finals. We just never got back to it, but so there's a lot of cool games. Project Castaway coming out this year. Actually, there's a demo of it out right now. That looks kind of cool. I just haven't had time.
Have you heard of the game Ready or Not?
I have. It's out on Steam.
It's got a big sale. Yeah, it's like 40% off right now.
Yep.
I thought about that one's been on my wish list. I thought about maybe picking that one up, but I feel like that one would be better with a group of people, because you got to work together. So, because it's like breaching like rooms.
Yeah, good point. Ray's testing out 2 different games right now. They're in alpha.
That's awesome.
That's what you got to do. So I like the demos. I like the early access. I like the play tests. I like the Ray wants that. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know much about. I know the game, and I've seen it. I saw it was on sale. It popped up on my Steam thing earlier.
The gameplay I've seen of it looks pretty cool. It's very tactical. You know, you got to work as a team, and you do a lot of like breaching and like rescuing hostages and things of that nature, which is a different spin on the shooter, right? It's kind of like the Rainbow Six Siege gameplay, you know, like Escort or something like that. So,
this year I've been doing a lot of those crafting survival games. That's what I've been diving into.
It has been the year of crafting survival games, I admit.
Yeah. So that's what
I'm not mad about that because I like that type of game, but I don't know.
We just never got back to Stranded Deep. We just never got back to a few others. I've got these other ones, and then we'll see what comes out of the Steam Fest. There's a whole bunch of just figuring out who's doing what, when, where, why, release dates, when I can fit them in, if I'm going to fit them in, if it's something I want to play. I turned down a lot of horror. I did not turn down Aviotic only because because of Woot and those guys. He asked me, and I said I will do this for him. Turns out it's more fun than I thought it was going to be. But plus we got the whole group in there.
Got the gang in there.
Got the whole gang in there, and Crow and I played it offline, and then with Will, it's always fun playing with Will. So. And then, so we're going to see. June's going to be a fun month. There's going to be.
Is it fun playing with Will, or is it fun watching Will play with things?
Both.
Both. I love it.
Both, especially it's especially in that one because he's dying a lot, and
I can imagine the words that are being shared.
Yeah. Will dies a lot. We all die a lot. We died more in the second episode than the third because in the second episode we didn't have Crow to cook for us. So we just kept dying. At least in the last episode we had Crow cooking. So we sort of stayed alive, but
well, we've got a holiday tomorrow, Jeff. So I hope everybody that is going to grill out or enjoy the day outside gets some decent weather. It's supposed to be
I'll be at work.
80. I think it's going to be like 85 degrees here tomorrow. So
nice.
Should be pretty decent.
It's been nice here.
Nice.
The pool's dripped a little. Pool. When I checked the thermometer earlier, it was 71 of your degrees. Refreshing.
I wouldn't mind a 70-degree pool.
Refreshing is the word. My
I don't know if I could go less than that though.
my son's buddy was over, and they have a pool, and he goes, "Our heater's broken, so it's in like the mid 70s. It's in the low 70s." And I said, I said, so is ours.
You're like bath water.
I said, the word we use. I said, John, the word we use, refreshing. He goes, that's a word that I wouldn't use.
My wife showed me a hot tub today. 3/4 of it is a hot tub, like a full-size hot tub with like the loungers in it stuff. And then beside it is a cooling section for an ice bath.
Nice.
I was like, that's exactly what I need.
Yeah, we found a fridge, like I said earlier, so now we can store our food and our drinks. And I brought back some water. I brought back water coolers so we can drink. And we also figured out how to take our empty ones and fill them up with bad water. And then Crow can cook. We can boil the water because the water doesn't burn. So we can boil the water. Because sometimes Crow's like, oh, crap, I'm burning my food. I got to run back. He's running back. It's a lot of shit going on. Happy Memorial Day to all of you Americans, where the rest of the world will be working.
The rest of the world will be working, but you all only work 4-day work weeks, where we work 5, 6, so it's all good.
I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure every Friday at 11 o'clock I have a meeting. I have a recurring call with a client, which is why I can never do the download. So there you go. Me and Nicole are talking about vacation property to get.
Ooh, the beach or Vegas. Are you looking at a beach house in North Carolina?
I thought you were looking at Hawaii. Does he mean a beach in Hawaii?
That's the wrong side. You got to come back over this way.
Weren't you talking Hawaii, Ray? Or is that now off the? Or is that off the? Is Hawaii off the list now? Is my
I feel like it would be super expensive.
I tell my boss I work 9 to 5 every day. I start at 9 and leave 5 minutes after he leaves. Yeah, that works. That tracks.
That's funny.
Wait, aren't you the boss?
Friday.
Aren't you the boss now, Crow? Crow is the boss now. So, Wilmington would be. Isn't that in Delaware? Isn't that where the president lives?
There is a Wilmington, Delaware, but he's talking about Wilmington, North Carolina, which
is that a place?
It's a 2-hour drive from my house, Jeff. 2-hour drive. Once they finish the rest of the toll road, it'll be an hour and 40-minute drive for me.
But you got to pay.
Yeah, but it's like $3.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I knew that because I got a toll bill from when I came back from the Buffalo game because I didn't even know I passed a toll.
Yeah, sometimes they're sneaky.
I didn't even know I passed the toll. I got a letter in the mail from the Department of Transport from New York State going, you owe us $3. I'm like,
so like most cities, you usually have a highway that goes north and north to south, and a highway that goes east to west, and then you usually have like an outer loop, right? Mm-hmm. Our outer loop, the top half of it is you don't pay; it's just a road. But the bottom half of it that's new and they're building is all a toll road. I live in the bottom half of it. So no matter where I want to go on it, I've got to pay. My in-laws get to drive on it for free. So why do you think that happened, Jeff? Because the people that passed the laws live in the north half and they don't want to pay the tolls. They just want all the people in the south half to pay the tolls.
Makes sense.
But I don't mind it because I know that the tolls are going to help keep that up. So it's all
got one of them EZ pass.
I'm not opposed to paying,
or whatever they call it.
My dues to enjoy things or to have nice things, right? But
awesome.
I'm tired of paying streaming services. About to cut them all. Don't need them. All right, you got a lot of gaming coming up. You already ran your roster, so you got the boys tomorrow. You've got Abiotic on Wednesday.
No,
you're finishing up
multiverses on Tuesday.
Multiverse, that's right.
Yeah, and then
Abiotic. Oh, I thought that was next week. It's this week. Okay.
It's just coming out. It's coming out. Yeah, it's coming out. I already posted the schedule. It's coming out. It's coming out first to consoles in the morning, and then afternoon it's coming out to PC. Not that I care, because I'm not going to get to it till the evening anyways. So there you go.
Are you doing another 7 days of Jeffy? Is that what this is?
No. Good night, Ray. Ray's got a stream in 2 hours. He's later on Sundays. He does 1:30. So there you go.
Well, good luck to you.
No John Oliver tonight, so I am just going to go curl up and go to sleep.
Cool. We've got the holiday tomorrow.
It's the
my parents are coming into town next week.
Nice.
So my parents will be here on Friday. And they will be staying for 9 days. They're bringing a camper down. They're going to camp over at the lake. So it should be a good time. So I might be a little bit more quiet that following week just because I got I'll have them here and stuff. But we'll still do our, normal chitty chat.
We will.
So graduation party on Saturday. I'll tell you all about it next Sunday. And stay well.
You too. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Crow. Thanks, Reed. Thanks, SPG. Have to always thank Mr. Slusher. He is the man.